I think this will be a pretty good prop for this video. Average sized rainbow trout. Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a huge fly fisherman, and today we're going to talk about taking pictures of the fish that you catch. I've actually done this video before. I was in a hot tub in a bikini. That was a long time ago. All of the information in that video is still relevant, but I'm going to take another stab at it here. So let's get started. The number one thing here is that when you're taking pictures of fish, it's all about taking care of the fish when you're handling them. There are 3 reasons why you would touch a fish: killing it to harvest it and eat it, unhooking it to release it, or taking a picture of it that your girlfriend definitely doesn't care about. I like to take pictures of fish too, so let's talk about how to do it responsibly. After you've landed a fish and said let's go a dozen times, the first thing that you should do is get everything ready so that you can quickly lift the fish out of the water for a photo. This is why you should carry a net. It makes landing the fish easier on you, but more so for the fish. Keep the fish in the net, in the water, while you're getting your camera out and setting up your shot. And you should set your shot up. If you're gonna take the time to do this, do it right. Look at the light and shadows. Backlit is not good. You want the fish in the sun. Don't put your shadows on the fish, either the person holding the fish or the camera person. It's okay to move around and find the best spot or the best angle. Just keep the fish in the water while you're doing that. When you have everything ready, pick the fish up out of the water for just a few seconds and take some pictures. Hold the fish over the net so that if it flops out of your hands, it flops into the net. Do not drop the fish on rocks or in the boat. Kyle, a few quick snaps, then back in the net. If you're the camera guy, you're using a phone or a digital camera. Take tons of pictures. Just fire away. You can delete later and keep a few good ones. If you're holding the fish, move it around a little. Generally keep it in the same place, but move it around to get better angles or light. I like a little head towards the camera myself. I think it looks cool. Push the fish towards the camera, but just a little bit. This is tricky. If you put it too close to the camera, it just looks like a stiff arm. Amateur. Bad form. You should bend your elbows, but if you hold it too close to your body, it's gonna make the fish look small. Hold it up for a few seconds, then back in the water. You can do it again if you don't get it on the first try. Now let's talk about how to actually hold a fish. I have entire videos about handling fish, but we don't need to get into all that right now. Just real briefly, keep your hands wet and don't wear gloves. Another super important thing is don't squeeze the fish. It's bad for them. Their internal organs can get squished easily. I see a lot of people grab fish right here. Don't do that. This is exactly where their heart is. Don't squeeze there. Don't squeeze anywhere. Just hold them ever so gently. If you want to get a good picture of a fish, you have to pay attention to how you're presenting it to the camera. The whole point is to make it look good, right? Probably the most common thing that I see is covering the fish up with your hands. Try to make your hands small, like this. You can't even see them. Less hand is better. We want to see the pretty colors on the fish, not your sausage fingers. Another thing I see a lot is people holding the fish flat and showing the belly of the fish. I don't want to see the butthole. I want to see the pretty colors. Show us the side of the fish. And pay attention to which side of the fish you're going to use. Sometimes one side is not as nice as the other. The most common violation that I see is taking a picture of the side of the fish where it's missing its maxilla from being caught before, like this. This fish is not smiling. It's hideously disfigured. Take a moment and see which side of the fish is going to look the best for your picture. You should also be aware of what you look like in pictures if your face is in it. You can go with the gazing shot, looking at the fish. You could get a shot for your mom and look at the camera and smile. Just be aware of what you're doing with your face. You don't want a picture of a great fish where it looks like you're taking a dump. Now let's talk about a few of the different poses that you can do when you're modeling with your fish. First, what I call the millennium pose, and that's not a shot at them, I just think they're the ones who started it. There are two key elements to the millennial pose. One is that you have to hold the tail like this. Just one finger over the peduncle so you can see more of the tail. The front hand is under the gills of the fish, and remember to make your fingers small so you can't see them. The second key element of the millennial pose is a generous tail lift or tea kettle. You want to elevate the tail above the head like you're pouring a cup of tea. That's a perfect millennial pose right there. Now let me tell you something about this pose. Lots of people do it. My friends do it. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so contrived. I get the finger on the tail thing. It shows more of the fish. It just looks so unnatural. And why are you lifting the tail? That's not what a fish looks like. A fish doesn't swim around like this. A fish looks like this. It's straight. Anyway, let's go over some other poses that don't make me so mad. How about the one-hander? Tough to balance a big fish on one hand sometimes, but it will make the fish look bigger if you only use one hand to hold them. Gotta watch the tail flop though, that happens a lot. Try to show the whole fish. Another one-handed pose is the osprey. It's best on smaller fish with the option of holding the fish upside down. How about another two-handed pose? The rifle. I'm totally guilty of this one. It's mostly about holding the rear hand like this. I know it looks stupid, but I continue to do it. Another two-hand pose, maybe the default fish pose, is this. Fish straight, front hand small, rear hand around the peduncle. A fine fish pose, but it doesn't always show the full length of the fish with the tail. That's just a few of the ways you can hold a fish for a picture. There are tons of others. Bottom line, be quick. The fish is more important than your picture. The whole thing shouldn't take more than 30 seconds, and the fish can be in the water for almost all of that. Or don't even take the fish out of the water at all. Get artsy and figure something out. Go with a classic fish in net shot. Or don't even break out the camera at all. Just let the fish go. That's where it's at, right? That's what we're all striving for. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you learned a little bit about how to take pictures of your fish responsibly. Thanks as always for watching another one of my huge fly fisherman videos. I'll be back as soon as I can with another video about fly fishing for you. Until then, hold a fish however you want, as long as it's not hurting it, and stay huge. I might remake some more old videos. Let me know if there's a particular one that you want to see.